The family of an Oklahoma County deputy gunned down while serving eviction papers says Oklahoma's mental health system is to blame for derailing justice. With the murder case against the accused killer thrown out earlier this month, the family tells our Lisa Monahan laws need to change, and now. Lisa?
Well, Colby, the ambush killing of Sergeant Bobby Swartz left his family heartbroken in 2022, but what's happened since has shattered their faith in this system. At best, they say it raises serious questions about how Oklahoma handles accused killers found incompetent to stand trial. At worst, they fear it sets a dangerous precedent for future murder cases.
County L units 1033.
In every eviction, danger is a distant thought until it's encountered up close.
County, shots fired, shots fired.
On August 22nd, 2022,
County's clear, shots fired.
no warning, no time to take cover. 3 deputies under fire.
Shots are continuing to fire.
Within minutes, one was down.
We need some help.
Another fighting to survive.
Horse and John about to shot.
And the third tracking the gunman's next move.
Behind the boat.
Hey, the suspect grabbed a bag with multiple weapons.
There's a shots fired. He's shooting out of his window.
Cornered outside the Tinker Air Force Base, the suspect, Benjamin Plank, arrested for the murder of Sergeant Bobby Swartz.
Stop! Put your hands behind your back.
But as that chase ended, another began. A pursuit that took 3 years and ended, the Swartz family says, without justice. 3 years of hearings and heartache for son Austin Swartz and his wife Kim.
If you could just run around, hurting people, burning things to the ground, and there's no accountability, society crumbles.
A belief instilled by his father, who spent a lifetime defending justice.
There has to be law, there has to be order.
Sergeant Swartz gave his life attempting to uphold both, but his son says the same system his father so proudly served has let him down.
He would be disappointed, appalled, furious.
Prosecutors say Benjamin Plank planned the ambush, reinforcing doors, stockpiling rifles, and Molotov cocktails.
He had a plan to kill any law enforcement officer that walked up to that door that day.
Plank confessed, but his confession never reached a jury because doctors said he wasn't competent to face one.
It was planned, premeditated. He knew what he was doing.
By law, a defendant must understand the charges against them and be able to help their attorney mount a defense.
Murder in the first degree.
Plank's public defender argued he couldn't do either. Diagnosed with delusional disorder, Plank was sent to the state's secure mental hospital, the Oklahoma Forensic Center, in April 2023. The goal? Restore his competency so he could stand trial for murder.
Our goal ultimately is to work towards that person being able to deal with the charges that brought them here in the first place.
But in Plank's case, records show the state not only failed to meet that goal, but was derelict in its efforts. A year after Plank was admitted, Judge Catherine Savage issued a cell order under a U.S. Supreme Court ruling requiring doctors to medicate Plank by force if he refused treatment. Within a month, records showed improvement. But then the case began to unravel.
We're responsible for protecting the public peace and safety.
Inside the forensic center, the Swartz family says Plank wasn't treated like an accused killer, but instead treated like a patient with privileges.
You have a bad day, you get to go play Xbox. You get to go watch TV.
All while they say he's behaved like a criminal, caught with marijuana, and accused of serving as a lookout in another attack.
It's almost like the Wild West. You can assault somebody, you get moved to another wing, you get marijuana, you get God only knows what else.
Moved from unit to unit, Austin says the Oklahoma Forensic Center failed to follow the court order.
In no world is that okay. I mean, criminals are given more rights than victims.
Now, court records show that by February of 2025, Plank outright refused medication, and the state's doctors, by their own admission, did nothing. Coming up at 6:45, the fallout from those decisions and why the Swartz family wants the court to take more action.
Well, a dramatic twist in the pursuit of justice for a fallen Oklahoma County deputy. It's raising serious questions over accountability inside Oklahoma's mental health system. State doctors admit they ignored a court order in the case against Sergeant Bobby Swartz's accused killer. The decision is sparking outrage from the deputy's family, who are now demanding answers. Lisa Monahan has been investigating. She's trying to help them ask some very tough questions. Lisa?
Robin, Benjamin Plank is in state custody, not as an inmate, but as a patient. And the family of Sergeant Bobby Swartz says until that changes, justice will remain out of reach. Now, those state doctors did admit in open court they failed to treat the accused killer. And the family says in 3 years, as a result, they've been the only ones to face any consequence.
A doctor willingly testified that he openly defied the court order because, quote, he's a human too. You don't think my father was a human? Before he was murdered in cold blood, before he tried to kill Mark Johns, any other officer that he shot at that day, those are all humans too.
Defending that decision in court, Dr. David Mitchell, the state psychiatrist, testified he didn't force the meds because he didn't want to damage the relationship with Plank.
If the doctor isn't doing the job that he was hired to do, why is he a doctor? Why does he have a job?
And Mitchell wasn't alone in defying the court's order to medicate. His testimony also revealed state psychologist Dr. Scott Orth admitted politics played a role.
If you're going to take the life of another human, like you shouldn't just be, no, I don't want to take that medication. I don't this or that. Like, I'm sorry, you've lost that right.
Austin says his father and his partner, Deputy Mark Johns, didn't get a choice, but had to pay a price. Forced to give up a lifelong career, Johns' attorney questions if the doctors shouldn't have to give up something too.
For them to take the position that they're not going to do that because they have some moral objection to that is ridiculous, and something needs to happen. Whether they need to be brought in and jailed or whether or not they need to be terminated, something needs to happen.
As months passed,
There wasn't a fair chance for any competency to be regained.
deadlines were missed, hearings were delayed, and the state's 2-year window to restore Plank's competency expired.
It sets a dangerous precedent for criminals. As long as you do these things, like, meet this criteria or, play crazy, whatever you want to do, you won't be held accountable.
Judge Savage, bound by law, dismissed the charges, citing the Department of Mental Health's failure to follow the court order. Despite the doctor's admissions, there's no record either have been held in contempt of court, and by all indications, still have jobs at the forensic center.
I always tout that we practice at, if not or above, the standard of care.
The Department of Mental Health did not immediately respond to requests for the doctor's disciplinary records or any policy changes since.
And it just really makes us wonder how many other cases are going through the same thing.
Theirs, the Swartzes say, is a case of justice derailed, not for a lack of evidence, but for a system lacking integrity.
If a state agency is so willingly going to be okay with failure, you're letting the people of the state down. You're letting law enforcement down.
There's just no accountability. There's no justice. And it not only fails Bobby, it fails every police officer in this nation.
But the Swartz family is not done chasing justice. They say they'll keep pushing for more oversight and for a system that does a better job of honoring officers who die defending it.
If it stops one other family from being let down, then it's worth it.
Now, the state could take some moves to hold those doctors in contempt, but so far that's not happened. Many saying that this is just an unprecedented case. Asking prosecutors about next steps, the DA says they are closely monitoring Plank's mental state while he's committed at the mental hospital. They plan to file charges given the chance. Robin.
Lisa, good investigation. And News 9 asked the judge if she plans to hold those doctors accountable for defying the court order. The judge is unable to comment on pending cases. We'll be following.